Good morning, everybody. This is Robert People of robertpeople.com, and you're listening to People's Court. Thank you for tuning in. Today is Wednesday, February 26, 2020. Please pardon the noise. I am outside now, and it is a beautiful day down here in Florida. So, I enjoy doing these from outside. I hope everyone can hear me, but you're going to hear cars going by and buses and things of that nature. So, hope it's not too loud for you. But today I want to talk about mediocrity. And it's sad to me that we've become a society that is okay with being mediocre. We're fine with it. Let me start from this point. I think a lot of people out there want success. A lot of people out there do. I'm not interested in what's perpetrated by certain individuals. A lot of us want it, okay? And I'm talking financial success. Financial. There's not a lot that can be done truly without money. You know, that's the world we live in today. But some people are not about, let me get just what I need. They want more. They want to be rich. They want to have, cars and all this other good stuff. Women, men, they want everything. And I'm not in any position to tell someone what they're allowed to want and what they're not. If that's what you are after, that's up to you. This is not to try and dictate why somebody's wrong for this or how it shouldn't be that way and people need to not worry about all this and everything. Nobody's in any position to lecture someone else on that. It's not for me, but it might be for you. It might be for this guy. It might be for this lady over here. It's for anybody but me. What I'm saying, and that's not even the point of this anyway. My whole point is about how a lot of us want this kind of stuff, this kind of success, while at the same time we're okay being mediocre. We're okay with just getting by. We're okay with doing the bare minimum. People sit around joking about that all day. We joke about being lazy. We put people down who, how often do we see my social media folks out there? How often, if you're someone who goes to the gym, frequently, or exercises on a regular basis, how often do you see someone taking some jab at the folks who do that? They accentuate eating a lot, or choosing to eat over going to the gym, and so forth. It bothers them to see people talk about going to the gym. Things of that nature. How often have we seen that? There's nothing wrong with wanting success, but you have to put in the effort to get there. If you're surrounded by people telling you that you shouldn't do it, get you some new people. It's that simple. Get you some new people. Because while everybody wants, and let me take it back to this real quick. I grew up in Baltimore City. Okay, I didn't always live there, but I grew up there. Till I was about 11 years old when we moved to Baltimore County. Okay, the city, of course, inner city county is a little bit more, it's better. I'm going to say rural necessarily, but it is a lot better for us, a lot safer for us to live out there. Anyway, very few people actually want to live in Baltimore City like that, especially in the inner city. Very few people actually want to stay there. A lot of folks want to get out of it. So it's always interesting to me how when someone is actually able to move, folks have everything to say about that person. Like my mother, who had 4 of us and primarily was our caretaker. And people had everything to say about her. Everything. For doing what? What did she do? Go around attacking everybody, calling everybody this and that? No, she wanted a better life for us. And most of the time, I want to think, most of the time that's what success is about, wanting a better life. So we all want a better life. To some degree, we all want that. I'm not interested in the perpetrators who come out and they say everything where they are is perfectly fine. It's one thing to be thankful for where you are, but wanting a better life, there's nothing wrong with that either. Jealousy is king in this society that we live in. Jealousy turns people very ugly. And what's sad to me is that this is what leads folks to not try. This is what leads people to be okay with being mediocre. To saying, I've done enough. I'm good where I am. When that's not what you're thinking. Now, this is not about trying to convert people. If you don't have ambitions, you don't have goals, you don't have dreams and things like that, this does not apply to you. So there is no point in responding. This is not about you. You're not looking to do that. But if you're someone out there who is looking, who has a lot that you want to do, you have to put in the work. You have to put the work in to make that happen. Work ethic, discipline, drive, determination. You need all that. And these days it's hard to do. When we are surrounded by those who are fine just getting by, doing just enough that they need to make it. We love the Beyoncés of the world, the Kobe Bryants of the world, the Tom Brady. We love those people and what they have. We quote them and all this and that. But when it's time to work, and everybody likes the success until they have to actually go after it. Success is always fun until you actually have to do it. Let's stop being okay with mediocre. Let's stop being okay with that. There's nothing wrong with dreaming big. There's nothing wrong with having ambitions. There's nothing wrong with wanting success, even if it is purely financial. There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to put in that work. And you have to get yourself away from people who try and tell you otherwise. Or the jealous individuals who want to do everything in their power to stop you from getting there. And you got to watch your friends and your family too. Watch your friends and your family also. We think as long as our enemies are wherever, then we're okay. No, friends and family are the same way. I mentioned this a few episodes ago in talking about how sometimes our friends are okay with us as long as we're down in the dumps, as long as we are always complaining about something, as long as our lives haven't really gone anywhere or we're about where they're sitting. But when you start trying to turn things around, that's when your friends aren't as receptive to you as they were before. Or they try to stop you, your friends and your family. And don't buy this whole I'm telling you the truth and I'm keeping it real. Everybody damn keeps it real on social media. Everybody keeps it real on social media. Well, I got the most realest folks out in my... Boy, I got more real folks than anybody else. Because everybody keeps it real. Everybody. Come on now. Statistically, that doesn't even make sense. But they tell you this stuff not because it's actually real, because they don't want to see you succeed. Some people straight up just don't want it. They don't want you to be successful. Whatever you're going for, they do not want to see that. They want you to be mediocre like them. I very seldom see this type of behavior from people who are doing things. You don't see Jay-Z or Beyonce, again, I mentioned her, Michael Jordan's, the the Bill Gateses of the world. You don't see them running around telling people not to try, not to do anything. As an author myself, I go to Stephen King. That's someone we all admire greatly. Master of suspense, master of horror, the GOAT, as the young kids like to say today, the GOAT. And he's not going to tell people not to try. He's not going to say give up, don't quit your day job. No, he's going to try to push you to go. They're going to push you to be better. They're going to push you toward greatness. And that's what we all need to do. We got to look for greatness. We got to do more than that person next to us is doing. We can't continue to stay mediocre to satisfy anybody, to make ourselves feel better, because that's where society is. We can't keep doing that. Dream big. Big things happen because people dream big. And everybody who dreamed or who would dream big like that, all of them had somebody tell them they weren't going to be able to do it. Don't know whether it was going to actually be true. No idea if it was going to there was any truth to it. They just didn't want to see them do it. We love mediocrity. As I said in the beginning of this, we embrace laziness. We embrace procrastination. That's something that a lot do, but in the writing community, we love talking about that. We love bragging about how much we procrastinate. And I get irritated seeing that because I'm like, procrastination is not good. We're not accomplishing our goals when we procrastinate. Why are we bragging about that? Why are we boasting that that's what we're doing? That's not good. That's stopping us. That's getting in the way of our dreams. That's getting in the way of what we're trying to do. So that's not okay. We don't need to be making jokes about it and staying stuck there. We need to be working, putting effort into what we want to accomplish. That's what we need. So you may say, well, what's one way to get ourselves to that place where we want to be great? How to get, how to strive for greatness? Well, think about whatever dream you have, whatever goal you have. Think about why you want that, why you want that goal, why you want that dream. Think about the reason you want to make that happen. And you continue to feed that every single day. You feed that. That passion, that fire, that's whatever it was that started, you feed that every day. The same way your body needs to be fed 3 meals a day, your passion needs to be fed as well. Don't just let the fact that you like it or that you want to do it at one time, let that be enough. Don't do it. Continue feeding. Don't put your friends and your family first when it comes to this. Okay? That doesn't mean neglect your responsibilities, okay? Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Don't neglect responsibilities. And especially when I'm talking about family. I'm not saying your children, your spouse. I'm not talking about things like that. I'm talking about, maybe your family you grew up with, you don't live with anymore. Things like that. Childhood friends, current friends. That's what I'm talking about. Don't put them first when it comes to that. Don't put them first. Because when you tell people, friends, family, that you have goals, you have dreams, they should be supporting you. Now, of course, it's within reason. I don't have to say it's within reason, but of course, that's where we are with it. Okay? If you want to be an actress, professional athlete, a writer like I am, motivational speaker, any of that. There is no one who can tell you you're not able to do that. Nobody. I don't care how terrible you are at it right now. You know how many people are doing things that they were terrible at before? No one can tell you that because you're bad at it now, you'll never be good at it. No one can say that. My wife and I watched the program last night. In which someone said, this show 60 days in. We're starting, we're in the new season. We're starting the first season, so we're behind everyone else, most likely. But the first season, a man named Jeff wants to be a corrections officer. He's a security officer now, or at the time, and he wants to be a correctional officer. So, of course, 60 days in, if you're not familiar with the show, it's simply that civilians, a number of civilians are undercover, are basically living in jail undercover, okay? They're living as inmates for 60 days. Now, Jeff had a hard time, a very hard time. He was out of the program probably within the first few days. He was not shy about expressing how much he was out of shape, how he's sort of timid, things like that. And we're at the point, we finished the first season, so we're at this point now where we're talking about, how, everyone's reliving their experience, recounting what went on. And the question was asked, long story short, to the other inmates, to the other people participating, if they think Jeff would be a good corrections officer. And of course, very quickly they said no. They said no. And my response is, no one can say whether or not this Jeff person will be good at it later. Oh yes, as of today, perhaps, or as of the time that they filmed that, there wasn't a whole lot to look at, a whole lot positive. But as far as whether we can do it later on, or whether he can do it later on, nobody can say that. This might have been enough to show him, hey, you know what? I got to tighten up. I got to do something different. He may have left there and went straight to that. When he goes through the training to be a corrections officer, that may be enough also to snap him out of this timidness. We don't know that. So to wrap up, this is what we have to understand when it comes to being mediocre. And so many people want that. Not so many people want it. So many people are okay with it. You want, but you're okay with mediocre. How do you want success? How do you expect success, but you're okay being mediocre at the same time? Some of us cannot stand, despise, even hate to see people doing well. Hate it. We create all these, scenarios and everything in our minds about how this person is. They think they're better than us, and they think they're all this, and they're not really that. I don't need what they have, and we do all this over what? Because someone wants success. Someone has done something with their lives. We're all where we are for a reason. People are jealous of stuff you don't even want. You're jealous of stuff you don't even want just because somebody else has it. How does that make sense? We as a society have to get out of this mindset of being okay with mediocrity. Just enough to get by. You can't, we love Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. Late, great Hall of Famer Kobe Bryant, we all know, as they just recently had a memorial for him and his daughter, along with, the others who perished in that tragic helicopter crash. We love people like that. Well, they didn't get there by being mediocre. That's why we know them. They didn't get there by mediocrity. They didn't get there by doing just enough to get by. They pushed. And some may even go as far as to say they pushed hard. If you don't know how hard Kobe pushed, not only himself, but his teammates, just pull it up on YouTube. It's on there. He pushed it because he knows that's what greatness is about. That's what you have to do. Don't sit back and dream about people like that, but then open your eyes and decide you're not going to bother with it, that you're going to be okay. Don't listen to people who tell you you don't need success. Money is evil and all that. No, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're not smart about it, if you're not mindful, yes, it can be loud. It can be terrible for you, catastrophic. But everybody doesn't look at it that way. Everybody doesn't look at money the same way. Don't dream about people like that, but then be afraid to go after it the way they're going after it. God put us on this earth to be better than mediocre. God wouldn't have bothered with us if he thought mediocre was the best we can do. We were all destined for greatness. I'll close with this. And I may not have it exactly right, but the idea is close enough. Comedian Steve Harvey. Okay, most of us know who he is. At one time said that before he became famous as a comedian, at one point he heard or he learned from someone that something to the effect of there being enough acres of land in the entire world. I believe it was the entire world. There is enough for every single person in the world, either in the world or in the country, one of the two, but there is enough for everybody to have, it was either 3 acres or 6 acres, something like that. But anyway, there's enough for everybody to have that. And he said when he started, that's all he was looking for. He just wanted that part. He said, because if it's there for everybody, why can't everybody have it? That's what I want to leave you with today. God put us on this earth to be better than mediocre. There's enough for everybody. Get what's yours. If it was placed in your heart, that means it's yours. Go get it. And leave behind anybody who has a problem with it. This is Robert People of RobertPeople.com. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.